See, don't fail me now.
Does this look like how you've been managing your shin splints? Craig, ditch the tape. Let us show you some of the best exercises for your shin splints today. Hey prehoppers, welcome back to the channel. Dr. Lauren Linus with Dr. Craig Lindell, and today let's talk about shin splints. But first, if you guys like our videos, do us a solid favor, subscribe, turn on the notifications so you guys can see when more awesome content comes out. But let's start. Craig is training for a half marathon right now. He's dealing with a little bit of shin pain. I've had shin splints in the past, so we're really excited to show you guys some of our favorite exercises for shin splints today. Let's dive straight into it. So to begin, one of the biggest things we can do to help to manage shin splints is work on opening up the calf muscles. A lot of times shin splints or medial tibial stress syndrome is caused from high stress, high volume, too quickly to the lower leg. So a lot of times these calf muscles in our posterior chain get really tight. So Craig is starting off stretching out the gastroc with that knee straight. We're working on the gastroc muscle here. And then important too to also go into the soleus with that knee bent. Now a big thing with these stretches, we wanna make sure that you're stretching after your run, okay? Big thing, and Craig can kind of speak on this too. I've noticed when I've had shin pain that stretching after my run actually helps me out the most. So we're working on getting into the gastroc, the soleus, a few different ways you can do this here. You can plant the foot up, coming forward. Tell us what you're feeling here, Craig.
Great calf stretching.
Great calf stretching.
Lauren hit it right on the nail in terms of right on the shin.
Right on the shin.
Right on the shin. If every single person that we have worked with, the shin has gotten worse when the stiffness is getting worse. Because the shin pain is coming because now there's more resistance to pointing your foot up. And that's because your calf is getting stiff. So the best way to work on your calf mobility is stretching right after the run. But like Lauren and I, we were just talking about, if your shin is really bothering you, then you want to make sure that you're stretching your calf throughout the day.
Yeah.
And this by far is my favorite go-to.
Yep. So a few different ways you can get to that gastroc and soleus muscle. Just make sure you are addressing both because they will both limit that ankle mobility or getting up into that dorsiflexion motion, which is really, really important for running. Okay, from here, we want to go into working on building some of the endurance of those muscles, especially since running is a single leg stance exercise. We want to work on turning on some of those muscles in a single leg position. So Craig is going to go into what we call a woodpecker position. He's going to stand on one leg, and then he's going to rock forward and back. This is a great exercise. When you guys do it, stand up, actually give it a try right now. You will feel everything working, those foot muscles, those ankle muscles, the calves, the glute, the hamstring, the quad, the core. Craig, what do you feel?
Everything.
Everything's working. And important to note here too, running is an endurance-based sport, right? We do many repetitions in this single leg stance when we go out for a run. So we wanna work on several sets, several repetitions, a few times a day to work on strengthening those muscles to get you back and get Craig through his half marathon he is coming up. Okay, from here, we're gonna go into another exercise that helps to target the hip, the core. Again, we're working on that single leg stance. So at home, you can take a Swiss ball, put it on a wall. We're gonna use the squat rack here. And then Craig is gonna start with just bringing the knee up and down. He's pushing into the wall, into the ball, and the ball is giving him a little bit of instability, so he's really having to stabilize through those glute muscles and the core here. He's doing a great job. He's bending the knee. He's gonna go in through that run phase. And also important here, get your arms involved. We don't run around like this, so get your arms involved, help to mimic running. Again, we're doing a few sets, high reps to work on endurance to get you through the race you have. How does it feel, Craig?
Oh, burnout.
We're burning. Okay, last exercise. Craig is gonna show us one of his favorites that I also really like too.
This is the Craig shin exercise. That's what we decided what the name was. So the shin, right? You're dealing with pain with running, if it's shin splints, and where you're gonna feel that pain the most probably is with that initial contact. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take a step forward. You wanna get into a pretty good stride. It doesn't have to be the biggest stride of your life, but just think, what is the stride that you take with running? And now have most of your weight on this front leg, let's say 70 to 80% of your weight, And now what you're gonna do is you're gonna point your foot up and down, but more importantly, you're also adding this little bit of rotation. So the muscles on front of the shin, they not only point our foot up, but they also help with pointing our foot up and in. And like we were talking about, right? It's not just this up and down issue with shin splints, but it's controlling this torsion. So as you can see, it's really important to make sure, hey, you're working on this while moving through inversion and eversion of the ankle.
Yeah, and really important to, Craig touched on it a little bit. When we first heel strike when we're running, or we strike the ground when we're running, our foot is actually in a little bit of that supinated position, which is why working on that torsion motion in regards to rehabbing shin splints is so important. So really focus on here coming up and then working on a little bit of that rotation as well to best prepare your body as you get back into running. Something to note with shin splints as well, you guys, is that sometimes you do need to drop the duration in regards to your training a little bit. Only because, again, shin splints happen when we do high volume and we put a high amount of stress through our low extremity. So sometimes it's okay to just take a little bit of a break. We're not saying completely stop. We're saying you may just need to alter your training program a little bit as you go through.
Oh, Berna.
Ready?
Yeah, ready.
Okay, sweet. Okay, guys, give these exercises a try. Follow along, subscribe, comment. We'll keep you posted on Craig's half marathon, but make sure you subscribe because we'll fill you in and let you know how it goes. Otherwise, we'll see you guys next week.